Hey there, Fletcher from All Things Overlanding here, and today I am out. It was about 20 degrees when I woke up this morning. It's up to about 40, 45 now, so it's actually not too bad, but that gives me the opportunity to tell you guys about these heated products that I got from a company called Save Your Heat. As you can probably guess from their name, they make heated clothing. So they have everything from some really nice heated gloves to heated hats to heated coats to heated socks, which I'm wearing right now. So I've been testing these things out for about a month now, and they've been amazing. So I wanted to talk to you a little bit about all these different products and give you a little bit of exposure to this company, just in case you were looking for options that are still pretty budget minded, but that are dedicated to cold weather camping, cold weather outdoors activities, and things like that that include heating elements. So if you want to learn more about the Save Your Heat gloves, hat, socks, and coat, stay tuned.
Understand where it came from, but you got it, my got it. It began in the land of the sandstorm. I fought it, though I wanted everything to do with what you give to me. Loosening my grip.
All right, guys, so as I mentioned in the intro, today I'm talking about these things from Save Your Heat. They make these awesome, like, skiing gloves. So they have a million different variations of these products. They have different sizes of these products. So there is just a ton of information, which I will link to their website down below so that you can check them out for yourself, kind of see the different options. The pricing also varies based on the fanciness that you go with, right? So the bigger the size, the more expensive it may be. And also, if you want like Bluetooth functionality, it may be a little more expensive than the ones that are just push button, right? So again, I'm going to kind of walk you through these products. I'm going to give you a good idea of what they are all about, but I'm going to link down below, and I encourage you to click through that link and just sort of check out all the different options. So that you can see what I've got on, but then you can also see all the other options as well. So let's start with the hat. So one thing that I always say when it comes to heated clothing is I view the heating elements as a backup. Never rely on the heating elements 100%. Like, don't wear a t-shirt with a heated coat over it thinking, oh, I'll be good, I have a heated coat, I'm going to go out into 2-degree temps and I'm going to be fine because I have a heated coat. Because all this stuff is battery dependent, right? So if you go through your battery and your battery dies, then you want to make sure that you're dressed appropriately under the heated stuff. So like right now, I'm wearing a t-shirt with a really nice long sleeve shirt over top of it, and then a fleece, and then the coat. Now, the coat and stuff itself, and one thing that I will say about all of these Save Your Heat products is that without the heating even turned on, they're very nice, very warm pieces of clothing. So for example, this hat has this really nice fleece lining inside of it. So it's really warm as is. Plus then it's got this sort of cotton outer layer on it that helps keep the heat in and gives you sort of a buffer between that material on the inside to keep that heat in. And then you can't probably see it in the video, but there are heating elements that run through this entire part of the hat. So when you turn it on, you can definitely feel the heat, but just as a hat on its own, I don't even have it on right now and I'm still plenty warm. So that's something you want to look for in heated clothing is it super lightweight and really just rely on the heating elements to keep you warm, or are the clothes well made in a way that they can keep you warm if the battery would die or you wouldn't charge it or something like that would happen? So again, the hat, super nice. These gloves are probably one of my favorite pieces of gear that I got from them because they are super heavy duty. They've also got these sort of leather padding on the inside here and also on the knuckles, so that if you're doing stuff, if you're working around camp and stuff and you smack into something, these are going to protect your hands and your knuckles. They're also very warm, and the fact that they have a heating element in them, the battery actually goes into the zipper pocket right back here on the back and is super tiny. Let me show you the battery here. It actually just pops right out of this pocket. And this is how big the whole battery is. They have a proprietary charging system that they do include AC cords with, so you can just basically unplug this little thing here and plug it into an AC plug that goes into a power bank or something like that, and you can recharge it. They recharge really fast, so if you use them up during the day and they, again, if the battery were to die, you've still got nice warm gloves that you can wear, but then overnight you can just plug in all your batteries, get them recharged, and be good to go for the next day. I like that they make the buttons really big too, because it makes it really easy to see what you're looking at. When you turn on the gloves, you just hold it for a few seconds and then it's going to turn on. It's going to show you both your battery power, which is those vertical dots there, and then also your heat level. So you can actually adjust it up and down by clicking this button, just a short tap. Obviously, the more that is on, the more battery it's going to use, but also the warmer they're going to be. And they will go for a long time on a charge, but even when they're not turned on, man, these gloves are just super nice, really easy to use. And the fact that they're leather on the inside also means that you can manipulate your phone. Now, it's a little clunky, right, because they're big gloves, but I do use my phone with these and it works. Now, another really nice feature of these gloves is if you're going to be doing something like skiing or something, there is a piece on the inside here that's attached to like a little D-ring that is like a glove retainer. So it's an elastic band that you could put around your wrist. And then that way, when you're wearing the gloves, if you lost them skiing or something, you're not going to lose them. They may come off your hands, but you're not going to lose them because they have that retention clip. Now, in my case, I'm camping, so I'm not really all that worried about losing them, but that's just a nice feature that they include, which is nice. You've also got this pole down here where you can tighten up the lip of it. So what I do is I put it over the cuffs of my jacket, and then I tighten that down just to keep all that heat in, to keep the cold air from blowing into there and keep your hands really, really warm. And again, that's independent of the heating element itself. It's just a nice design feature that helps keep it warm. You've also got this strap on the top here that you can pull that will tighten down the sort of wrist part of the glove so that it is less likely to come off if you were skiing or doing something, more athletic. The materials that the glove are made out of are really super heavy duty and high quality. And these things have been great over the last month or so, wearing them on probably 4 or 5 different trips that I've been on. These things just do great. So definitely think that the gloves are one of my favorite pieces of gear from this company. Then, of course, the coat is kind of a puffer style jacket. One thing that I've noticed that I really like is you'll notice all these stitching lines, right? And I'm not a clothing manufacturer, but I imagine that is to keep the insulating material all in one place. So you don't have to worry about it coming from the shoulder down to here. So it keeps all that insulative material in place so that it retains its warmth even after washing it and things like that. Now, again, the jacket, the gloves, everything that I've had, one thing that I noticed is I'm kind of used to, I think, cheaper no-name brands that make heated clothing. And when they make that, they make it so that the heating elements are kind of like all or nothing. You turn them on and it's just burning hot, right? There are pros and cons to that. The pro is you get some immediate warmth, right? What I've noticed with these clothes is it's more of like a soft, the heat comes on slowly and it doesn't heat up as much as some of those other clothes that I'm used to. But so one thing that I've noticed is it's more of like a steady heat, but it's not going to scald you or burn you. Like when I put the gloves on, they're nice and warm, but they're not like too hot where I feel like I need to turn them down. And I think that they do that for a couple of reasons. One, to increase the battery life, and two, because it's probably not great for you to go from freezing cold to warm. Like that's when you get the feels like you're being pinpricked in your fingers and stuff. This is more of like a gradual heat, and it lasts for a much longer time than some of those cheaper products. Same with the coat. Everything is great, feels really nice and warm, but not overly hot. It doesn't make me like sweat or be really hot. It just keeps me warmer than it would without the heating elements. And then, of course, let's talk about the socks, because these are probably, after the gloves, these are probably my next favorite piece of gear that I've got from Save Your Heat. So the thing that I like about the socks that I have is that they are really long. And when I say really long, I mean they go up my whole leg, basically cover my whole calf. But then here's your button, and then inside of there is where the battery is stored. Now, I've had these things on all morning, and I think I finally killed the battery, but these also have Bluetooth functionality, so you can control these with an app from your phone. And since they're socks and they're under your pants and stuff, and as you can see, it's kind of a pain to pull them up, it's nice to be able to do that without having to take that off. Again, if you were skiing or doing something, if you had a bunch of layers on and it's winter and you wanted to, turn your socks up or down or on or off, the fact that you can do that with a Bluetooth app is awesome. And again, most of their gear has that, whether it be the gloves or the coats or anything like that. So just look at those different options on their website. And if you want that Bluetooth connectivity for everything, definitely pick one of their pieces of gear with the Bluetooth stuff, because it works great and it's really super easy to use. All right, so just to kind of show you how easy it is to charge the batteries for your socks, for example, these are from my socks. You're just going to plug into an AC plug on your power bank. And then basically what it does is it's got a splitter with 2 different pieces, and you plug them in just like you would when they're in your socks. Now, they are marked left and right, but it doesn't actually really matter. They're both the same, so you can just plug those in. And then that AC thing is going to come on, and I like that it actually has indicators on it showing you which one is which and showing you the status of charge. So again, I ran these socks for the last 6 hours, and now I'm charging them back up so that I have them tonight when it gets cold. But then when they're done charging, you pop them back into your socks, and you are good to go. All right, guys, so that will do it for the Save Your Heat products. As I mentioned in the video, just wanted to kind of walk you guys through some of my favorite features of them, give you my impressions of them after using them for about a month on multiple trips. Overall, for the kind of budget price point that they hit with these products, I think they're really good products. And the fact that they also will keep you warm, even without the heating elements, I think is super important. One of the most important things. Don't buy the cheap stuff that's really thin, that you're relying on the heating elements to keep you warm. Buy something that's going to be a nice, good coat that's going to last for a while. It's going to be good quality. And then the heating element can just add additional comfort in those colder temps. So again, I hope that was helpful. If you want all the details on these products, I will link link to each of them down below and make it really super easy to find. So if you want to go learn more, check those out. And again, as I mentioned, there's a bunch of different options and sort of features that you can add in or take off of the different pieces of clothing, so you can match it to your budget based on whether you want Bluetooth or not, that sort of thing. So definitely check those out in the description down below. Of course, like always, there are links to all my other social channels down below, so wherever you want to come follow along, I'd love to have you. There's also a link to my website where I've got funny overlanding camping themed patches and stickers, all things overlanding patches and stickers. So if you're into that stuff for your headliner or sticking it on your fridge or your window or back window or anything like that, definitely check those out. Also below this video is a join button. That's just kind of a passive way to support the channel and get you early access to the videos and some other perks. But if you want a more involved way to be a part of all things overlanding, there's also a link to my Patreon group where we've got over 20 people now in it. We kind of chat in a 24/7 Discord. We do a once a month Zoom call where we drink a beer and hang out. And then we're trying to get together for a trip once or twice a year, kind of towards the Midwest. So if you're in that area, that may be especially appealing, but definitely consider checking that out as well. But so that will do it for the Save Your Heat stuff. Thanks so much for watching. Appreciate it. If you enjoyed the video, click that like button. If you're not already subscribed, make sure to click that subscribe button, and we'll see you next time.